As we concluded Simchat Torah, we concluded Hamishah Moshe Torah, and we start again from P'rashat Berashit. It's very interesting that there's so many stuff to talk about P'rashat Berashit. Every single thing you can go into. Everything. So which means that, for example, let's say Hashem created the world. That you could talk about a lot. Like every subject has something you could go into detail with a lot. So this means that we go into a lot of details, you could do like a lot of things. It could be here from, I could talk about P'rashat Berashit because everything, because there's a lot of things in Berashit, and every year we usually choose like one subject, one subject to explain, because there's many deeper explanations, and they actually have a lot to do with the stuff, But before anyone starts a book, they don't just start blank. They don't understand what you're saying. Which means that, if you would go to, you get a nice book, and you don't explain what's going on at the beginning. Who's this guy? Who's that guy? What? That doesn't make sense. So you start off a book, and it's already like you're in the middle of the story, and you don't know what this guy is, what does he do, You don't start a book like that. You have to, of course, start with an introduction. In this case, an introduction to Hamishah Moshe Torah. What do we need to know about the Torah? In books, sometimes you have to know about the characters, what they do. The Torah, of course, you have to know maybe about what the Torah is, what goes on. That's about the Torah. So, the introduction we'll talk about today is whether you have to do are you obligated to the Torah? Do you have to learn the Torah? Let's say, someone is reading a book. He finished reading it, he likes it, he loves it a lot. He goes to his friend. He says to him, hey, you have to read this book. Why? Because I said it's a very nice book. Do you have to read it? No. Why do you have to read it? Who said I like it? What if I'm not in the mood for it? What do I have to read for? Just because you read it doesn't mean I have to read it. So, does that mean that he's not obligated to read? Of course he's not. He doesn't have to. Nothing's going to happen to him if he doesn't read them. Or maybe he's just going to get mad at him or whatever. It's not really any punishment from God if you don't read a book. So now that leads us to the question. Are we obligated to do the Torah, or we could just say, no, why not? We don't have to. I don't feel like learning it. It's not my type, That's what it basically is. What should we do? Do we have to, or do we not? That's the question. You could say maybe no. Why? Because it's just, it's a book. You have your free choice. Do whatever you want. So what's the problem? Let's say, you have a job. You have a job. So, this job, you're working, you have to wake up very early in the morning. You finish late at night. It's a lot of work. Sometimes you're working for so long, you're exhausted. You're waking up 6 o'clock in the morning, you're already running to your business or whatever. What happens? When you do a lot of work, you get tired and you get exhausted. So now you go to bed, you're sleeping. You know, I don't feel like going today. Does that mean you don't have to go just because you don't feel like going? No. You still have to go. Why? What will happen if you don't go? You'll get fired, or you won't get your money. When you go to work, why do you go to work? You want to make money. When you go to work and make money, if you don't go to work, why do you deserve money? What are you going to get from it? So that means even if you don't want to go, you still have to go. If you don't feel like going, you're gonna go, because you have to make money, or else, well, we're gonna be poor. Or what do you want us to do? We have to make money. The same here applies with the Torah. We can't say, no, not for me. I don't feel like it. It's not my type. You don't feel like it. It doesn't matter what the excuse is. That means, so, the Torah, when you learn it, when you're obligated to the Torah, it's exactly like work. You do it. You get money from Torah, learning Torah. If you don't go, it's like you're getting fired. What are you doing? Of course, there's a difference between a job and Torah. A job, really, the purpose of a job is to make money. But the Torah is not just to get money. That's not our main purpose. That's not the main goal of learning. We're supposed to do it L'Shem Shamayim, for God, not for any other reasons, really. It's fine, of course, if you're doing it partially for the reward, fine. You want the money, you want the reward, fine. But fully for the reward, that's not the right way. Some people, they go, no, it's not for me, I don't care. It's not like I get money anyways. If I waste my time learning Torah, then I don't get any money. Why? Because I missed out work. So if I miss out work, how am I gonna get my money, huh? That's the trap. That's what Satan puts them in. Make them think like that. So what happens? They just stick to their jobs and whatever. The Torah, you're obligated to do, whether you like it or not. Also going to work. You have to come to work or not. If not, you're gonna get fired. If not, Hashem's gonna give you punishments if you don't observe the Torah. That's just what it means. You can't just ignore the Torah. No, not for me. What does that have to do with me? The Torah, the Torah, I never said I'm accepting the Torah. I never said that, so I don't have to go. If I said I'm accepting it, fine. But I didn't say that. I didn't say anything. So what do I have to learn? What am I doing? I'm not obligated. Just because the Jews accept the Torah doesn't mean I did. Fortunately, that's what people think. They think like this. When it comes to business, you don't just say, oh, just because, I don't want to work. That means I don't work. Of course, there's exceptions. if you're sick, you're not able to, then fine. You go to business. If you're sick, you can't come, you're not able to. So what do you want? Want the guy to come and he's not able to? What are you trying to ask? Something he can't do? Of course, if you're not able to learn, what does Hashem want from you? He's not asking you to learn. So yes, there's exceptions. But just because you're in a bad mood, or you say, oh, I'm too weak, or I can't do this, sorry, it's not my type, it's not right. You might think, oh, so what? I don't have to. The Torah is not my type. And the answer is, okay, it's not your type. Okay, oh, I don't have, my desires are too high. I can't do anything. I desire too much of these avirot. Do shtuyot. So what can I do? I'm already a lost case. What do you want from me? And the answer is no. Trust me. If I were to go to you, I say to you, hey, for example, let's say keeping Shabbat. If you come to someone, you say, oh, keep Shabbat. He says, no, I don't have to keep Shabbat. I don't want to. I'm too weak. I can't do it, they say. That's wrong. Now I come to him, I say, oh, you know what? Here, I give you $1,000 to keep Shabbat. I say, of course you keep Shabbat. And then you go to him and say, oh, you're about to do you're about to do the deal, whatever. He's probably gonna think you're joking or whatever. And really you are. And then you tell him, why? Look, see, I just proved to you that you're able to. It's only because you need that money. That's the thing. So you just shown you that you could. So when it comes to business, you don't just say, no, I can't go to business today, sorry. I'm not feeling like it. It's not how it goes. And the same thing that's the same thing with the Torah. And that's basically what you have to understand. It's not just, oh, not my type, I don't want to. You learn and you have to. Now the next thing I want to talk about is something you might have heard a couple of times. You hear, the Torah is not a history book. Okay, the Torah is not a history book, fine. So what if the Torah is not a history book? Doesn't it talk about the past? Talks about, Hashem creates the world, Abraham Avinu, Moshe Rabbeinu, all these, Tzaddikim in the past. What? How it's not a history book? Why you always hear these rabbis say, the Torah is not a history book. What does this mean? Okay, it's not a history book. What's wrong with calling it a history book? Why not? What's wrong with it? To answer the question, you have to take a look at the differences between a history book and the Torah. So, you start off like this. We start off, where does a history book start? It really doesn't matter where it starts, but of course it's in the past or whatever. Let's say it start from day one, creation of the world. It starts off, the world came, I don't know, by accident or whatever their nonsense is. They say, oh, then monkeys came from the sky. It was raining monkeys, and the monkeys, over time, after a couple of years, they realized, I don't know, they were becoming some, they're getting used to nature, and then they started evolving to humans, all of these things. And then they started getting smarter, and then they started inventing new things, finding out new things, till today. The bottom line is that you start from somewhere, you go in order. You go start day 1, day 2, etc. You don't go day 1, day 3, day 3. You don't go out of order. A history book, you don't jump from place to place. If I were to go to a history book, I start in some place, I don't know, start 500 years ago, let's say. Then I jump back to before something happened. Let's say I'm talking about a war. This war happened. Now you're talking about the preparation for the war. What is this? Why are you going out of order? A history book doesn't do that. Okay, that's what a history book does. But what about the Torah? The Torah doesn't go in order sometimes. It's not always in order. Even though it starts with Berashit to the beginning till Moshe Rabbeinu's death, doesn't mean it's fully in order. For example, let's take a look at Parashat Pinchas. Hashem shows Moshe Rabbeinu the land, Eretz Israel. When did this take place? When he was about to die. Pinchas, okay. That's in middle of, and then after that it jumps back to more halachot. It's stuff. Why is it so? So now we know that this can't be a history book. History book goes in order. That's one difference. That's a history book. You go in order. Torah doesn't need to go in order. Well, it's not a history book. It's not starting from day 1 to get to current events. Another thing is, what is the purpose of a history book? What is the purpose of a history book? Why do you think people, why do people read history books? Why do they read these things? They want to know about the past, how they used to do things, what was their old culture, their old styles, what they used to do, how they used to fight wars, all these things. They're wondering how they do it. So they're just curious, I wonder what took place this time, that time, how we came to today, whatever. That's, for the most part, what people read a history book for. But the best thing you could learn a history book for is to learn from your mistakes, the past. You go, and not much people learn history books for those reasons, but whatever. So let's say this guy, he does this wrong. He shoots the shot in the wrong place. He punches this guy in the wrong place and he got killed. Okay, he missed. You learn from your mistakes. Don't do that. Okay, fine. That's about the history book. That's why you learn. That's why you read it. You don't read it because for, I don't know, some other reason. You're wondering, whatever. I don't know. So now, what about the Torah? If the Torah was supposed to be read like that, the Torah was, the purpose of it was to be a history book, it would have mentioned things. It would have mentioned, some events. What happened? What was in the past? What there used to be in the past. And they say there's horses, there's these places. This is where they used to live. The Torah doesn't mention all those things. Well, what do we have to tell them for? It has to be. That shows us that the Torah can't be for the reason of, for a history book. A history book, okay, you read it once, twice. That's it. But a Torah, for some reason, we're always reading it again. And this is the next thing. And now here comes the question. Why do we always repeat the Torah again? You go to the library, pick out a book. Take a book, Take one, you read it once, twice, you get it into your head, that's it. Maybe once here and there, a year, 2 years later, fine, you'll refresh your memory with the book. But for the most part, you're basically done with that book. You read it once, that's it, you're finished. You don't do anything else with it, really. But for some reason, the Torah, you're reading the same exact thing again. Berashit, Noah, to Vezot HaBeracha. All over again. Why do we do this? We're reading Berashit, Noah, okay. Next year, doing the same thing, next year. Okay. You already know the story of what happened to Adam, Hava, Noah, and the Teva, Abraham. Okay, all these things, we already know them. Why are we doing it again and again and again? That's the question. The answer is, if no one was to review the Torah, what would happen? All the Torah would already be over, forgotten. Starting from the times of Moshe Rabbeinu, whatever, just starting, they got the Torah, whatever, they still would not forget the Torah until after the prophets already gone. Why? Because the prophets are already mind the Torah, so it can't be they forget the Torah there. So after the Nevi'im, now they're going to start to forget. They read it once, twice, okay. They'll take it as a book, a regular book. So, what happens at the end of the day? They all forget it. Even if he passed down his knowledge, his grandson to his son, and this son, okay, do that still. You don't have all the information. Every time it's just getting less and less and less. Till it's all gone. You know nothing now. Okay, fine. But we're reading the same thing again and again. I know the story already. Come on. When we read the Torah, it's not just so you could read the Torah again. We're supposed to learn the Torah with more explanation. And deeper explanation. What does this mean? What does that mean? That's what it means to review it again. To clearly understand what's going on. Not just to remember it. Okay, you remember it fine. But you have to understand it too. The Torah is not something that we just do. It's not like that. We always make sure we understand. We don't just do. We remember it, fine, we remember it. But it's also to understand. What does this mean? What does that mean? And there's so much in the Torah that you don't know. You never know how much we can't in our whole lifetime get through every single thing in the Torah with details. It's not possible. Combine this in the oral Torah, the written Torah and the oral Torah. There's too much. We can't finish it all one life in this short life we have. So the question is still, why the Torah and the oral Torah is not together? Of course, the answer is because, what would happen if you had the Torah and the oral Torah together? You know how big the book would be? From here to China. The book has so much detail, so many things. Think about it. Think about all the books about Torah written, the commentary on a Torah, all combined together. That's a lot, no? You can't put that all in one book. It's too much. And of course, you're not going to be able to finish that in a whole lifetime. Well, do as much as you can, but whatever. This is what it means. You have to understand it. Not just like a history book. Oh, you throw it away. One day you read, okay, you remember it, okay, now whatever. That's not the Torah. That's the Torah. It's not something to think of. Oh no, it's not. So next thing is the fact of what we actually are doing when we're learning Torah and when we're doing the history book. What's the real reason why? A history book, of course, as I explained before, it's only for, history. But the Torah doesn't include history events. It includes halachot and things you're not allowed to do. Have you ever looked in a history book, looking inside, say, it says in the history book, you're not allowed to do this, you're not allowed to do that, you have to do this. Whoa. You don't read a history book to follow orders of the history book. Why should I care? Who said, maybe if I wanted to, fine. If I don't want to, what do you want me to do? You want me to waste my time? What am I going to gain from following all these orders? With the Torah says it like that. You have to do this, that. A history book does not include those things. Maybe fine, you'll see this guy's belief, that guy's belief. What does it say? You have to do this, you have to do that. It's not specifically talking to you. It's talking about what they used to do. It's not like you have to do it. And they're doing it for the interest. They're interested in, what they used to believe, what they used to, do. The Torah is not what you're interested in. You don't just do what you're interested in. It's not like, I like this mitzvah, I don't like the other one. So it doesn't mean you're not supposed to. No, I like putting on tefillin, but I don't like giving tzedakah. It's not how it works. You could think whatever you want the history book. You could say, oh, okay, this, I like this fact, but this I don't like. Of course, think whatever you want, but it's not allowed. The Torah is not called Torah for no reason. It's an instruction book. Now you go to a random Israeli in the street. You see him. He's not religious or he doesn't know any Torah, nothing. Nothing about Torah. And you see, let's say Simchat Torah, and they see the Jews dancing with the Torah. And this guy comes over to him and says, hey, well, you know, what are you doing? He says, I'm dancing with the Torah. So, huh? What's so special about an instruction book? Oh, you're celebrating how you can build a table? How you can build a couch? What's so good about it? What's so special about... why are you celebrating and you're going crazy over an instruction book? Why is there so much people? I understand. You accomplished, you finished, whatever. You finished how to do something. Finished how to make a book, how do you write this, how do you do this. You finished it, you'll be happy, you're proud of yourself. But why is everyone, this whole nation, they're going crazy over this instruction book? What's so special about an instruction book? And you'll tell him, if you get that question, you tell him, oh, you know, it's not just any ordinary, book. No ordinary instruction book. First of all, it's a book from God, from Hashem. Okay, so what's from God? And the second thing is that it's not just how to build a table, how to do this. It's something that we all want to know. Why are we living here? What am I doing here? What's my purpose? Why do I live? To make money, to have fun, People don't know. And of course, that's why people have their opinions. Some people, they'll spend their life having fun. Some people want to spend their life working hard to accomplish. Some people make money. Everyone has their own opinions. And of course, that means some people have what they call good. Some people have what they call bad. But there's no real, there's no real opinion. Every opinion is an opinion. It's your thoughts. So, now we'll get to the point. God, when it comes to Hashem's opinion is not an opinion. It's a fact. Why? Okay, so what? I could go to some random king. I say, hey, your opinion's a fact. No. Why? The answer is, let's say you didn't know anything, right? You don't know, all the details of something. You don't know what we're doing here, whatever. You don't know that. You're gonna have to come up to someone, ask him what to do. But who are you supposed to ask? That's the question. You go to an inventor, someone who invents this, let's say, new phone. Make believe we never even knew what a phone is, how to press the button, no, nothing. We don't know nothing. So we have our opinions, what we do with this phone, how we do this. We might be doing it right or wrong. We don't know. Maybe this is the purpose of the phone, maybe it's not. Who do we go to for advice? Go to the inventor. He knows exactly what's going on, why we made it, You go to him. Say, how do you do this? He says, you press this button and that's how this works. Say, wow. Thank you. Then, now you think about it. Without him, what would you be doing? You'd be using the phone wrong, most likely. You wouldn't find out how to do it. Because don't forget, we're talking about, of course now it's on, if you think about that, of course, it can't be true. Because everyone knows what a phone is today. You know how to use one. You go, I don't know, someone who's, he never seen a phone before. He doesn't even know what this is. What's a phone? You go to these guys, they don't know anything. What? So who do they have to rely on? They have to rely on the inventor. The one who invented them. The one who actually invented the item. Why? Because he knows why he created it, why he made it for. He made it for this reason, to, not just to hold it, it's something to feel, It's for a different reason. Now the question is, why do you have to look up to this guy? Because he's an inventor, he's the only one who knows. Now, does that mean you could do whatever you want? Oh, I'm going to find it out on my own. I'm going to do this my own way. I'm going to do it my own way. Okay. Do it your own way, but you're doing it wrong. Regardless. Think whatever you want. You're doing it wrong. The same applies to Hashem. We don't know what's good and bad. We're complete strangers to good and bad. We don't know. We never heard of good and bad. We don't know what's good and bad. Who's the one who knows what's good and bad? Hashem. We have to rely on Him to let us know what's good and bad. Now, of course, we can't talk to Hashem, We're not on such a level. Like, we just, Moshe Rabbeinu, we just have a conversation with Hashem. No, it's not how it works. So, all the things, what's good, what's bad, it's all in the Torah. All the Torah. Everything. All, this is what Hashem wants from us. This is what we're supposed to do. This is good, this is bad. Now to say, no, I don't want it. No, it's just like a history book. Throw it away. So no, it's not how it works. Can't say that. Because you don't know if you're doing it right or not. What if you're doing it wrong? There's no one who told you you're doing it right, because everyone thinks he's doing it right in his own way. As people say, I'm religious or I'm righteous in my way. Which is 100% very bad to think like that. To be religious in your way is the worst thing you could do. Why? You be religious. You make up, you have a good reason for why you do your things. And now you come to other people. And they look at you. They say, what should I do? You would give them a convincing answer, which is wrong. So you're really getting other people to do your stupid and not all your nonsense, which is not true. This is why we have to rely on Hashem. This is why. We learn the Torah. So we know what's right and wrong. Not so we just go on, making theories. This is what's good. This is what's bad. It's not how it works. The Torah comes from God. The one who made good and bad. He created good and bad. He created this is good, this is bad. He knows much better than us. If He knows much better than us, who do we think we are? Oh, do whatever we want. Oh, I could think whatever I want to think. If you're like an inventor or something, okay, fine. You know how it works. But we don't exactly know what's good and bad because other people mix us up on what it means to be, what it means good and bad. So the point is, we're supposed to rely on Hashem for these things. Not rely on some going in the streets to tell us, what to do. Well, Of course, if the Torah doesn't say it, fine. Let's say, that's why we have the Hachamim. We have the rabbis. We look up to them. We ask them because they're experienced in the Torah. It's like you have, you have the president and you have some guy who's a little lower than the president, But he's closer to him than anyone else. You go to some guy, a king, you go to some random guy, you say, this guy's not close to the king at all. You go to a servant, fine. His servant is close to the king. He's close to the king. You can ask him whatever, So that's why we go to him. If God doesn't say what to do, if Hashem doesn't say it, so fine. Then you have a point. And then there's people who have then there's rabbis have their different opinions, whatever. Well, that's what are we gonna do if we didn't have them? If no one was experiencing the Torah, we wouldn't hear. Who are we gonna look up to? No one. And therefore, we're gonna believe in our own beliefs or whatever our other things are. So, anyways, this means that the Torah, we have to follow it. This is the whole purpose. The whole point is we follow it. Why? I just explained this whole thing. The Torah comes from God. We don't know what's good and bad. We're all strangers to it. So it doesn't mean we could ignore it. It's an instruction book. The real way how to be good and bad. The real way to be a Sadiq. It also tells you what's a Rasha too, but I don't think we want to be any of us want to be a Rasha. Or call it Rasha too. So that's the introduction we have. The Torah is for everyone. Whether we like it or not. Whether we think it's for us or not. Whether we're in the mood for it or not. As long as you're able to do it, then there's no excuse. At least do it for the reward, even if it's 100%. When you go to work or something, at least do it for the money, not just for, the pleasure from working. At least do it for that reason. For your, whatever, your money. And those people, Hashem says to them, there's nothing wrong with that. Fine. But Hashem's going to help them to do it l'shem shamayim, not just for money. Not for this. Some people, they don't learn Torah for, l'shem shamayim. Some of them, they're donating, they're doing these things so that their name should be famous. And everyone should say, wow, this is a donator. This guy donated this amount for the shul, whatever. Wow. Okay. Those people are not really doing it l'shem shamayim. But here the point is, and that it doesn't matter. At least do it for your own benefit. You don't have to just do it. I'm not saying you're not supposed to. You're supposed to do it the right way, l'shem shamayim. Go to a king, that's how you treat a king. You don't do it for your benefit. Sometimes you do. The king says to you, oh, you do this for me, I give you a lot of gold, a lot of silver, everything. Say, yeah, no problem, I'll do it. But you're doing it with the gold and silver. Without that, you just collapse. And this is why Hashem made reward. If not, most of us wouldn't even be learning. No, none of us would be religious or like that. We don't gain anything from it. It's only for your benefit. What do I care? Okay, fine. You're God. You created us. But you only created us for your own benefit. You don't care about us. It's as they say. You're using me. You're using me. To do whatever you want. When you get used with someone. He doesn't really, like you. He's not really helping you. He's only doing it for his selfishness, for his own reasons. Well, it doesn't really matter what the case is. Point is, the Torah is for everyone. We all are obligated, even the Goyim. Now, I'm not saying the Goyim have to put on tefillin, have to eat kosher. No, that's not what I'm talking about. They're obligated in the 7 there's 7 laws from Noah. That's what they're obligated. They're obligated, number 1, number 2, to all of them. That's all they have to do, really. The Goyim, that's it. 7 laws and they're done. They keep all of them, they're considered righteous. Righteous Goyim. So that's the whole introduction. Now, let's get into the Parashah bit. How does the Torah start off? First pasuk. Bereshit bara Elokim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. Okay. So Bereshit bara Elokim. Now we know it only says Elokim when it's referring to Hashem with judgment. He's judging someone. Judgment, It says Hashem when it refers to mercy. Hashem's merciful, So, the question is, Hashem's creating the world. Hashem created the world. You're creating the world. Is that a bad thing? What's bad about that? What's judgment for? Why are you saying judgment, That's the question. You can't just go and say, isn't creating the world a good thing, Isn't this, good? It says kitov, and whenever most of the things Hashem created, it says kitov. So that means it's good. So also, why does it say Elokim? It says Elokim from here till Noah. Till Parashat Noah, when Noah was going to go into Teva and whatever. Then it starts for the first time saying Hashem. So the question is, why we say Elokim? Why? What's the judgment over here? The answer is, Rashi answers that Hashem, when He created the world, He first saw how it was going to look with judgment. If He made the world with judgment, just judgment. Made the world judgment, okay. Using only judgment, no mercy. So, what would happen? What did Hashem see? That the world, they'll all collapse. The world cannot survive if Hashem's going with all judgment. Now here's the question. Fine, it says this. But what does judgment mean? What does judgment mean? What? Does that mean there's more halachot, more laws you have to keep? Does that mean you're more strict or more strict with you? What does that mean? What does it mean, judgment? At least in this case, what does judgment mean? To answer the question, we have to take a look at someone, this guy, he was sinning, he's a bad guy. He was a bad guy. He was a rasha. And, he was always sinning, you go against Hashem. Finally, some rabbi or something gave him he had a huge discussion with him. And he realized all his nonsense he learned was all a lie. And he was really, he was upset. He felt bad. He was wasting his whole life this whole time. He was wasting his time. So he says to Hashem, please forgive me. He does everything perfectly fine. He prays. He says, please Hashem, I'm sorry. I didn't know, everything. What happened in the end of the day? He got forgiven. They forgive him. Now let's say, what if You know, there's a guy, let's say, with Mehalel Shabbat. He was always Mehalel Shabbat. He never kept Shabbat. He's already old, very old. His death is near. You know, he realized the truth. Oh, I'm a Mehalel Shabbat. I should have known better, you know. So he says, you know, why did I do this? From now on, I'm keeping Shabbat. Good? So, this guy, a couple of days later, he dies. He didn't experience one Shabbat after he said that. Not one Shabbat. The question is he considered a Mehalel Shabbat or is he considered Shomer Shabbat? What do you think? You might think, oh, he's still Mehalel Shabbat. He didn't even keep one Shabbat. That's one. So, there's not one Shabbat. What? You just do Teshuvah like that? You didn't even keep one? You didn't show yourself? Prove yourself? The answer is no. He's considered, goes up to heaven, he's considered like he was Shomer Shabbat this whole time. Huh? He didn't even go experience one Shabbat to show that he was right. What does this mean then? Huh? The answer is that, for example, let's say you accept it upon yourself. I'm going to learn Torah. I'm going to learn this Gemara. I'm going to finish it. Just from saying that, you already get rewarded. Huh? You didn't even start yet. You're already getting the reward. Why? The answer is, when you start something, when you want to start something, then you get a reward for that. Just for wanting to start something, that's already a reward. Same over here when it comes to this. It's not too late. Even if you think it is. Oh, yeah, I'm not a religious guy, you know, it's already, my life's over. It's not true. You can always do Teshuvah. You can, you know, instead of making it worse, make it better. Why? Waste your time. So, this is what it means. Hashem's merciful. He always gives us this opportunity. An opportunity to do Teshuvah. Now what if the world was created with judgment? What would happen? A guy, he realizes his sin now. It's coming to pray to Hashem. Hatati aviti pashati. He's praying, please forgive me. I didn't mean it. I didn't know. This guy, he comes out of public school. He doesn't know nothing. He's praying so hard. He really means it. What happens? Hashem says, sorry, you sinned. You can't be forgiven for that. You pray as hard as you want, it's not going to work. Sorry, a sin's a sin. You can't get forgiven. You can't be forgiven for it. Sorry. Do as much kavanah and pray as much kavanah as you want. All you could do is not sin again. Make yourself worse. So think about that. If a person, he realizes his mistake, his sins, he prays to Hashem, please forgive me, and he's not being forgiven for it. Okay. So why am I wasting my time now? Why am I, praying to Hashem if I'm not even, he's not even going to answer me? I'm going to say sorry. And that's what happened. And then they just stay the way they are. They don't care. And this is exactly why the world wasn't going to survive. Because they didn't have this teshuvah. They wouldn't have this thing called teshuvah. To become about teshuvah. They didn't have it. They wouldn't have this. And we take it for granted that we have this thing. we take it for granted. We think, oh, Teshuvah, he doesn't even answer me, you know. And you all these complaints say, no, he doesn't answer me, whatever. Or you don't think he's gonna answer you, because whatever, because you're in such a bad situation. You feel like it's already over. No, he's not gonna help me. We take it for granted. Guess how little Saddiqim do we have if this world is created by judgment? Think about what would happen. All it would be is like what? Very, very little Saddiqim. Because everyone sins. They can't be forgiven for their sins. They're wasting their whole life being like a goy, and their life's already over. So they can't do anything about it. That's the end of their life. Even if they do, if they did teshuvah or whatever, it's not gonna work. You pray, and nothing's gonna happen. So this is what it means by judgment. We're not gonna know. We're not gonna be able to have this teshuvah. And believe me, this is one of the most important things we have, to be able to do such. If we weren't, it's like we were not allowed to sin once. Of course, I'm not saying, oh, you sin by purpose or whatever, because you feel like sinning. No. You like that? Come on. It's like you just go, you sin, I want to sin today. And then you go the next day, please forgive me, and you do the same thing again. You guys can help you? No. Not at all. It's not going to even be considered like a teshuvah. Because one of the 3 things you need in order to get your sin forgiven is to regret it fully. You don't want to do it ever again. You regret it fully. And this is what it means, judgment. Now, what do you think? The world was created with mercy now? What do you think? The answer is not exactly. It's 50-50. Mercy and judgment together. If it was only mercy, what would happen? Sin as much as you want. Nothing would happen. Nothing. You could sin, Hashem's merciful, no? And this is why some people always fall into the trap. People say, don't worry, nothing's gonna happen. You go to heaven, whatever. They're nonsense. They're saying all these things. Again, get them confident. Yes, I'm very good. I'm, nothing to worry about. While they have a lot to worry about. Think, oh, don't worry, Hashem's merciful. And they're referring to 100% merciful. And you know what that means? That you can't get punished once. Which, of course, as we see, is not true. Someone who gets a little scratch, it's already a punishment. It can't be for no reason. Nothing's a coincidence in this world. Something happens. It can't be a coincidence. So you can't say, no, it can't be, Hashem's merciful, It can't be. It's not possible. These things happen. And the problem is, what their excuses to that is coincidence. Things happen, by mistake, by accident, whatever all these people say. And that's why, that's how they became like this, because they think things are coincidence. Oh, this guy lost all his money in one day. Coincidence, He just lost it somehow. I don't know. It just disappeared. It's someone who I don't know. He finds this rare thing. Coincidence? No. It's for a good reason. Nothing in this world happens for no reason. Let me ask you a question. If someone goes over to you, he just gives you a present and he just leaves. He's a random stranger. But, I don't even know this guy. Why is he giving me a present? He doesn't even know me. What did I do for him? And there's no reason to it. So why did he give you a present? It makes no sense. No one would do such a thing. You go to some random guy and say, hey, just take this, just leave. You don't even know him. You don't even like him. You never seen him before. So why did he give a present or whatever? For no reason. What, coincidence? So you're saying, oh, this guy gave you a present because it's a coincidence? No. No one would do such a foolish thing. They wouldn't waste their time. They're going to someone, he just finds a random guy on the street, okay, this guy, take this, whatever. So that's what it means. That's why, when it comes to these things, can't think it's a coincidence. Can't say, no, didn't happen, just, somehow, by mistake or whatever, so, it just happened. It doesn't work like that. So, this is what it means. This world is mixed with mercy and with judgment. The mercy part is, we're able to do teshuvah. But the judgment is, if we don't do teshuvah, we don't take this opportunity to do teshuvah. You know what's the sad part? You know who's better than us? You know what's better than us? The trees, the water, when it comes to them praising Hashem. Now what do I mean? To answer the question, let's take a look at it Mashal. So the story goes like this. There's a king. A nice king, a king. The king just brings him some random guys. He says, hey, come join us for a nice meal. And these people were deaf mute. They couldn't talk. They couldn't, they couldn't hear. They couldn't speak. So they eat the meal, nice meal, whatever. And the king would pass by them. He just go, he passed by, see what they're saying. And the poor people, the deaf and mute people, they're saying, they're praising him, even though they can't talk, they're doing, yes. They're doing these signs to show their gratitude. And that's what the king wanted this whole time. That's why he invited them to see, what do you call it? He wanted to see how grateful they would be. So now you know what the king says? Oh, it's a good idea? Let's bring someone who actually could thank me. Someone who actually could talk. So let's kish these guys. Just say bye-bye. And we'll bring in some new guys who could actually talk. What happens? So now they brings these other guys. They're able to talk. They're they're fine. They're perfectly fine, and they eat the meal, whatever. And then they go. Bye. Bye-bye. The king passes by them. They didn't say a word. Not thank you, no nothing. What happened? The king's like, just thinking, huh? I thought this would be better. To bring these guys there could talk, to praise me, to thank me more. The king says, bring back those deaf mute. Bring them back. Much better. That at least they thank me. This guy doesn't thank me at all. So, what do we see from this mashal? Exactly what I'm about to say right now. I was just saying. So, about this, we don't pray to Hashem. Who prays instead of us? The water, all these, whatever. So, the water, they're praising Hashem, the water, the trees, even though they can't really talk, They're praising Hashem, the ground, or whatever. Now Hashem thinks, if I make a man or someone who can actually praise me, they'll praise me even better, much better, no? To do that. And what happens? At the end of the day, not even one thank you. The other guys, even though they can't talk, even though the water can't talk, he's saying thank you. Say one. Come on. And this is the sad part. We're doing the things the wrong way. So this is what it means. You have to be grateful to Hashem for things. Can't just say no, who cares? It doesn't work like that. Someone gives you something, you say thank you. You don't just ignore it. You just take it. Bye. Not even any appreciation for it. You forget all about him. You forgot what he did to you, whatever. All these things. And and that's why we get stuck with this. We don't appreciate things. We take things for granted. So the whole point is not to take Teshuvah for this idea, being able to do Teshuvah for granted. Now, every time, now you have to do vidui, we just came out of Rosh Chodesh. Now we're back to Hanun after all the holidays, after saying Yeshem. Now we say, no, we're back to Ana. Now the prayer is longer. No fair, I hate this. You know what we should be doing? The opposite. Not being, no, we're supposed to be, yes, finally, now we can pray, we can get our sins forgiven. But unfortunately, we do it the wrong way. So, this is what it means by judgment. This is what would happen to the world. The world wouldn't even last for so long. A long time ago would have been done for. So, it's like the world would have ran like, you don't. But you have to make sure you don't sin anymore. If you sin, all you could do is not sin again. If you sin more, you're just making your punishment worse. That's how it works. So that's this whole idea. That Hashem was going to create the world with judgment, but we're lucky. It was half mercy, half judgment. Now you might say, okay, fine. Wouldn't it be much, much better if Hashem created the world mercy, 100% mercy? Well, we'll all go to heaven, or Hashem will be able to prove himself that, he's a great God. He's a very nice God, So why didn't Hashem do that? No, it sounds like a good idea, no? The answer is, it's not a good idea. It's a very, very foolish idea. Either way, if Hashem was to do that, what would happen? Everyone would even appreciate it for 1 second that they have all this mercy. They just go to heaven. They did nothing for it. And this is the whole purpose. Someone who works hard, working every day, sweating, and it takes a lot of hours, a lot of time. He finally builds his house or whatever he has. He makes a lot of money or whatever. Makes enough money for something. He feels like, wow, I did a lot. And now he buys the thing, he enjoys it much more. Someone to come over to you, just take $1 billion. Now you could do whatever you want. You wouldn't be fine. Maybe you enjoy it, but you wouldn't enjoy it as much. So that's another reason. Because if you don't achieve it, you don't actually really enjoy it. This is why the world was created with good and bad. So it becomes more of a test for us. It's either we could work or we could not work. So this is the whole thing. Now let's move on to the story of Adam and Hava and the eating from the tree or whatever. So the story goes. Hashem comes to he says to Adam, don't eat from the tree. You're not allowed to eat from this tree. All other trees you eat, no problem, but not this one tree you cannot eat from. The tree of life you cannot eat from. Okay. And then the whole story takes place. So it starts off, of course, with the snake. And the snake goes over to Hava. The snake says to her, he says, I heard this rumor or whatever that Hashem told you something about, you're not allowed to eat from this certain tree or something. He said, yeah. Hashem said, you're not allowed. Only, only but you're allowed to eat from all the other trees. Only this one you're not allowed to eat from. So the snake's like, yeah, really? You serious? How do you know, huh? What if it's nothing's gonna happen? He says, and she said to him, if you touch it, Hashem said it, if you touch it, you're gonna die. She says, huh? Yeah, that's what Hava said. If you touch it, even if you touch it, you're gonna die. Or if you even eat from it also. And then the snake just pushed her to the tree. And she said, see, nothing happened, you didn't die. And then then the snake said to her, he said, you can also eat from the tree. See, nothing happened. So she didn't want to feel 100% guilty that only she was doing it. So who did she bring along? Adam. The sin. So she convinced Adam to sin, to eat it, and then he also ate it. Now the question is, how did this all happen? How did it all happen? What happened to make this happen? What, the snake, she could have just easily gone away from the snake, saying, oh, you fool, what are you talking about? How did this all happen? The answer is, when she was talking to the snake, what did she say? You can't touch the tree. Hashem never said, you're not allowed to touch the tree. You're allowed to touch the tree. Fine, what's wrong with it? But you're not allowed to eat from the tree. That's how she fell into the trap. So the snake pushed her. The tree saying, look, nothing happened. So what do you mean nothing's gonna happen if you also eat? And that's how this whole thing happened. Just because of one thing that was not true. One lie. One lie. That's it. You just, and not only that, it's not just a regular, lie. Oh, I didn't do this, it's not like that kind of lie. It's a lie, more of a lie to be more strict with yourself, saying, oh, I'm not allowed to touch this or whatever. Not supposed to do that. This is what it teaches us. We can't say, no, you want to lie? Fine, you lie. But when you're lying, you can't just, you just add stuff. I mean, sometimes you could get away with lying. You're not really allowed to lie. It's not allowed. But doesn't mean now, you can, whatever. Make a lie that has nothing to do with your benefit. The opposite, actually. Because you see from here, things like this could happen. You say stuff that you're not sure of, and then you fall into it. You fall into the Satan's trap. This is what we see from this whole story over here. That's how this all happened. Just because of one thing. Hava made one small lie. You say, no big deal. Who cares? We'll lie. All because of this. That it was that Hava caused all of sin. Now, the story goes on that now it says that Hashem's looking for Adam. Hashem's saying, "Where are you, Adam?" So to speak, he's looking for him. Now, of course, the famous question is, what does it mean that Hashem's looking for him? He already knows where Adam is. So you say, you go to someone, you already know where he is. You say, "Where are you?" No. You have the cameras. Let's say you have cameras. You're looking at the cameras. You're screaming out. You say, "Hey, where are you?" You say, "Why do you have to say that for?" You say, "I know where you are." What do you mean? Where are you? And the answer is something that we were explaining before. Hashem said, "Where are you?" He's saying it. So Adam comes to him and says, I'm hiding from you. Why? Because I'm embarrassed. I'm naked. That's what Hashem says, Who told you you're naked? And then all of a sudden, Adam says, "Oh, so it's Hava's fault. She gave me to eat from the whatever." Then Hashem comes to Hava. Hava says, "No, it's the snake's fault," and whatever, and so on, etc. So now, what's the answer to my question of why does Hashem have to do this whole story? The answer is, Hashem wants us to get an opportunity to do teshuvah. Don't think, no, I don't even want to give you an opportunity. Hashem gives everyone an opportunity to do teshuvah. Even if you're very weak, you could still do it. Now, why does Hashem have to do that in a way? "Oh, hello, how are you?" What do you have to do that for? Make believe you can't find him? What do you have to do this way for? If you go to someone, you jump on him. This guy, he made a mistake. He made a mistake in business. He did this wrong sale, whatever. All of a sudden, you see it, you heard it, you say, "Why did he do this?" What would he do right away? He'll defend himself, say, "No, not my fault, I didn't understand this, He would make all these excuses. Not to look like an idiot. And that's what happens. But when you talk to him, say, "Hey, how are you? Hi," whatever. You say, "How's your business doing? What you're doing?" You talk to him like that. He says, "Huh?" And you say to him, "I heard there was some kind of rumor. I don't know. I heard something happened. You made a bad sale, whatever." He says, "That's right." At least he has a chance to say that. You're giving him a chance. If you don't say it, that he's most probably just gonna say, "No, don't be. No, what are you making up lies for? It's never happened." Because he doesn't want to look like an idiot. But if you're not making him sound like an idiot, then what does he have to show? Why does he have to defend himself if he's not looking like an idiot? And that's exactly what Hashem did. He's just playing out this whole story, just so that he can give Adam a chance to repent for the sin he made. So Hashem says, "Hey, where are you, Adam?" He says, I'm embarrassed, I'm naked." He says, who told you you're naked?" He says, whatever, and then so on. What did Adam do? He blamed it on Hava. That was the mistake. Adam could have said, you know, you're right. Please forgive me. What would happen if Adam would have done that? The whole sin forgiven. That's it. That's all. That's all Adam had to do. Say, I'm sorry. Say he's sorry. That's it. No punishments. No having to, no having to work hard. No, all the punishments Hashem gave because of this thing. So what do we see from this? Hashem gives everyone an opportunity. Not just one, whoever he likes, whoever, Everyone has an opportunity. We might not think like that, but it's true. Everyone has an opportunity, whether we think of it or not. So, this is just to add on to my point that I was mentioning before, how important it is. How we shouldn't always be like, oh, Teshuvah is not, anything important, To prove this, Hashem himself shows it to us. He shows us how important it is. By him actually acting, this whole thing, making himself look like an idiot, just for this whole thing, to give him a chance to do Teshuvah. Make himself look like, whatever. Another good example, there's a couple of examples in this week's parasha about this. Another thing, it says, when it comes to Hashem creating Adam, creating man, what did Hashem say? Let us create man, us. Now this sounds like Hashem saying, oh, it's not only Hashem, there's more than one God, no? It sounds like, they also created him. It's like, and if there's more than one God, it means that Hashem doesn't have full power. It means that at least they're split into power, you know how it goes. It's right, like, the government or whatever here, how they run. Everyone has, their split power. They don't have like a king, it has all the power. It's not like that. So now this becomes a problem. Now God, there's more than one God. What's going on over here? More than one creator? Can't be. And the answer is, first off, it was not like there's another God. Hashem's going to the Malachim. Okay, why are you going to the Malachim saying, let us create? Okay. You know what Hashem's teaching us? That we're supposed to go to our, to people that are lower than us. I'm a big hacham. I go to my student. I ask him, what do you think I should do? Not to ignore him, say, no, you're a loser, what do I care? What do I have to ask this guy? I'm better than him anyway. Fine, maybe you are better than him. By Hashem's teaching, he made himself look bad. He made all those people having excuses. Oh, look, you see in the Torah? Let us create. You see? See what it says? It says that, there's more than one God. So they can't say there's one God. Hashem did all this just to teach us to look at people that are below us. Even if they're not on our level or above us. We ask them. We have a little brother or something, and say, hey, what do you think I should do? I'll be like, oh, this guy's not going to know anything. He's just, I know much more than him. I know much better than him. This is what Hashem's teaching us over here. Another very interesting point in this week's parasha is the story of Cain and Hevel. And this also basically plays out the same exact thing as Adam. But this one clarifies the point even more than before, than how it said it with Adam and Hava. Hashem clearly says it, and it clearly says in the Pasuk. But before that, let's start with the story of Adam. Of course, the story goes that Cain Cain, Cain, he wanted to bring a korban to Hashem, and Hevel also brought a nicer korban than his, and his korban all got, Hashem denied his korban, took Hevel's, and now Cain, he's upset or whatever, jealous. And Hashem comes to him and says, "Why are you upset or whatever?" He says you could still whatever, do Teshuvah, or whatever. I'm continuing. And then it leads to the story that it says that Cain he was talking with Hevel and then just kills him. That's the whole story. And then it just says, "What have you done?" Then he's like, "Oh, why you kill Hevel?" And that's basically all it says. That's the whole story. Now there's a deeper explanation to this story. What really happened? Because there's a couple of things that we can't understand. So let's start over. Cain starts off with this. How did this idea of korban come? How did the korban? How was it? Who made this korban idea? Who invented it? Cain was thinking, Hashem gives us so much. Hashem gives us so much. Well, what can we give him back? We don't even give him anything back. We don't even show him appreciation. Of course, we can't create things. We're not like Hashem. We could create whatever we want. All we could do is we could give Hashem things that He gave us to show at least somewhat of appreciation. And that's how Cain came up with this idea, korban, bring a korban. So Cain, he goes, he brings the korban, and then Hevel sees him. He says he's jealous of him. He says, "Wow, that's a good idea." Hevel was thinking, "Wow, why don't I do the same thing? Why not? I bring a very nice korban, everything." What happened? Hevel's got accepted and Cain's didn't. Now Cain gets very annoyed, he's upset, feeling down. Come on, why am I not accepted? Comes Hashem to Cain, says, "Why are you upset?" Now here's the big question. Why does Hashem come to Cain to say, "Oh, why are you upset"? Isn't that the good thing about this? Shouldn't it be jealous? Why are you jealous of Hevel? Why are you jealous? Why did he come to him? Why are you upset? That should be the best thing. He's upset. Isn't it good to be upset? You didn't do a mitzvah, Let's say, for example, you can't sit in sukkah. It's raining. Yeah, you're not allowed to sit in sukkah. So now you're upset. Oh, come on, I can't sit in the sukkah. What's wrong with being upset? It's a good thing in this case. So why Hashem's coming to Cain? Oh, why are you upset? Why are you annoyed? The answer is an answer that we should always take with us. It's a very important thing. Most people don't know. And most people think they're doing something right with this. They think they're doing the right thing. Let's say, you did something wrong. You made your friend upset. He screamed at you. Whatever. And he became he's not your friend anymore. Because you did something wrong. I don't know, you bothered him. You did something, Now you get very upset. Wow, what have I done? Look what I've done. I made him. Look what I've done. All because of me. See what I do? I'm worthless. All I do is I make people upset. Oh, look at me. I'm such a loser. What have I done? Wasting my time. I can't do anything. What could I do? I'm no one. I can't do anything. I don't have any power. I can't. I'm not. I'm not. I can't do anything. I'm very, very. I already did this to him. So what do you think? I could do something else? No, I can't do anything to make up for it. Now people think that's a good way of thinking. Oh, no, it's not a good way. You say to look like to think that you're an idiot, to think you did something wrong. Isn't that a good thing? Well, you want someone to go and think he does everything right. He be confident, and then he says, "Yeah," and he's they're doing everything, and he doesn't think he's doing any sins. He thinks he's right in everything he does. You think that's a good thing? No. So what does this mean now? So to answer the question, let's look at two things that the Satan or the Yetzer Hara, what's his purpose? What does the Satan do? The first one we obviously know. The first one, to make us, sin. To get us away from the Torah as much as possible. What's the second thing? To make sure we're depressed and upset. Out of everything. To be depressed and upset? Why? Why not, I don't know, something that's more, why upset? What's so bad about being upset, depressed at yourself? The answer is, when you're depressed at yourself, you're upset, wow, I can't do anything, my life's over. I'm a Mechalel Shabbat. I can't fix myself. It's already too late. Oh, what am I wasted my life. I can't do anything. Game over. I wasted my time. I can't do anything. It's not like I could fix myself. This is what people think when they're upset. They say, wow, I can't do anything. This is what happens. They think they're upset. They would get upset. And, for example, let's say someone is going to shul. He's a very religious guy. This guy's in shul the whole day or whatever. He's learning very hard, whatever. But the problem is he learns by himself. And what happens when he learns by himself? He gets too distracted, It's not easy to learn when you're by yourself. You get a lot of distractions. You're thinking about this thing, you're spacing out, whatever. And now you're done shul, you're done learning, and you're already done, and you're done your part of the day in shul. And now you're upset at yourself. Why? What have I done? I can't do anything. All I do is I sit in shul and space out. What am I doing in shul all day? What, wasting my time spacing out while I could accomplish other things? Why am I wasting my time? So what is that guy gonna think? If I'm in shul the whole day, I'm doing nothing, I'm accomplishing nothing. So why don't I do something I can actually accomplish? And then he's out of shul. This guy, forget about it. He's not even religious anymore. This guy's Mechalel Shabbat now. How this all happened? He's upset at himself. How did this happen? He thinks, oh, I can't do anything. When you think you're a lowlife, you think you can't do anything, you think it's over, then that's it, it's over. You go to someone, you say, come on, learn, come on, you could do it. He says, no, I can't do it. If someone thinks he can't do it, would he even put an effort in it? Would he waste another second on it? No. It's not, what does he have to waste his time for? The point is, being upset at yourself is actually worse than you think. Of course, there's actually ways that you could actually avoid this, but you have to be someone very special, very big tzaddik. But people like this, you have to be like a very big hacham or something. You have to be able to do all these things. But majority of the time, most of the time, they fall into this trap. So what happens? Like this. So basically, you're thinking you're upset, whatever, you're depressed. Now you're depressed. Oh, you can't do anything anymore. What can I do? My whole life is a waste. It makes you feel like a penny. That's a normal person. That's how he thinks. But when it comes to, someone special, how does he think? He's thinking, he feels upset at himself. He's depressed. But he's not depressed at himself. Because he's not thinking, I can't accomplish anything. He's thinking he could have done more than he was doing. He knows he can accomplish. But he realizes that he's going to have to put more effort into it. He's going to have to be depressed at himself. He's going to have to look at himself like a lowlife. But it doesn't mean that you could think of yourself as a zero. That's what happens to us. When we're feeling depressed, we feel like an idiot. We feel like, what have we done? Because of something, it's only if it's something because of us. That's how we feel. At least if we realize we did something wrong. And what happens is, now no, I can't do anything anymore. We have to realize we could do things. So, let's move on with the story of Cain. What actually happened? So, Cain got annoyed. Hashem says, why are you annoyed? Why are you upset? And the pasuk clearly says, it clearly talks about that you have the desire. What does the desire refer to? The Yetzirah. Its desire is to get you to sin. But if you want to actually conquer it, you could. What does this teach us? You have to want to do it. When you're upset and you're depressed, do you want to do something? You feel like you can't do anything, so you're not going to want to do it. That's what happens. That's why it's such a major thing. Guess what Cain answered Hashem? Even though the Torah doesn't say. He answered Hashem, I can't do it. He said, I cannot. Hashem, if God comes to you, he says, you could learn Torah. You could keep Shabbat. Would you say to him, no, I can't keep Shabbat? They were talking about Hashem over here. He knows everything. So what? You go to, I could understand some random guy who comes to you and says, yeah, you could. Okay, you may be fine. But you come, this is Hashem over here. How does he have the guts to say such a thing? How could he say such a thing? He can't do it. The answer is, the Yetzirah got him so tight in with this depression that he even went down and he said this to Hashem. These words. Okay, next. What happened after that? Now it starts speaking about Cain speaking with Hevel. Now, what did he say to Hevel? That's the big question. What did Cain say to Hevel? The Torah doesn't say what he said. Rashi says that Cain was actually having an argument with Hevel. He's having an argument. Why? Because when Hashem would come to him, he doesn't want to look like an idiot. Oh, he killed, He killed Hevel for no reason. You have to have a reason. In order to do that, he's getting angry, so he killed him because he was frustrated at him. But it still doesn't answer what did he say. The answer is, listen to this. This is what Cain said. You know, Hashem's not fair. Hashem doesn't treat everyone equally. He didn't accept my korban because he likes you, he doesn't like me. Why do you look at this Hashem? This guy, this Hashem? Oh, we don't need him. Hashem? He doesn't like us. He doesn't treat us equally. I thought he had mercy on us. What happened? No mercy? Hevel saying, oh, calm down. It's not true. Hashem is 100% merciful, and he happened to accept mine because he was better. He says, no, but he just made me so upset. He didn't want to accept mine. It can't be because it's not good enough. Because he doesn't like me. This is what Cain said to Hevel. And as this argument was going on, back and forth, going back and forth, Hevel started winning the argument. And when Hevel's winning, now Hevel's winning. So what does Cain do? He's confused. He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't want to lose the argument, then look like an idiot. So what happens? Cain kills Hevel for this reason. Because he wouldn't want to look like an idiot, losing the argument like that. This is why Cain killed Hevel. Now let's move on with the story. After this event took place, Hashem comes to Cain, says, "Why? Where's Hevel?" Cain says, "Huh? You think I know where Hevel is? Think I know where he is? No, I don't know. I don't watch over my brother." Hashem says it. Well, what have you done? How come you killed Hevel? You know what Cain answered, even though the Torah doesn't say it? Cain answered, "It's your fault." Huh? Now he's blaming Hashem. You know what he said? Cain said, "You know why this happened? Because of you. If you would have accepted my korban, this would never happen. It's all because of you." It's exactly like this. Like a case, let's say some robber, he's going to a bank, he's stealing. This guy steals, he's running, and the police caught him. And he gets under arrest or whatever. So now the police ask him, "Why are you stealing the money? Why are you going to steal the money? Why you want to steal the money?" What did he answer? What would he answer? He says, "Oh, it's not my fault. You know whose fault it is? The security. He should have watched me. If he would have watched me, I would have not stole. So he has to watch me better. If not, it would never happen." And this is exactly what Cain said to Hashem. Wow. How could Cain fall to such a low level? From the one who invented the idea of the korban to the first Rasha who ever lived. How did this happen? How? The answer is depression. Upset at himself. I can't do nothing. I'm a low life already. My life's over. Thinking like this is a big, big mistake. We don't realize what we're getting ourselves into. It makes perfectly logic sense. And this is why we're all falling into it. That's why the Satan loves to use this trick on us. So we all fall into it. We think our life's over just because we broke Shabbat one time, just because We didn't put on tefillin for one day, means our life's all over. It means we can't put on tefillin ever again. It means we can't give tzedakah ever again. It means we can't pray ever again. This is why things happen, because of our depression. We don't realize it. We say, who am I? I can't do nothing. I'm a lowlife. What do you want from me? I can't do anything. They feel like an idiot. And why does this happen? All because of depression, being upset at himself. This is the importance. Always not to get upset at ourselves. We don't realize it. This is why. We always have to look, wow, look how lucky we are. That we're able to do Teshuvah, all these things. I can't take things for granted. Whatever. And the other proof lies here. Or say, Hashem says that you can conquer the Yetzirah if you want to. That teaches us if we want to, we could. But if we're depressed, we're not going to think we are able to, so we're not going to want to even try. So, this is what it means. Never be depressed. Bezat Hashem will continue to realize this. And, of course, this means one thing though. There's still one more question before we end off. Of course, you're telling me now, yes, you can't think of yourself as a low life, but you can't think of yourself as $1 billion. You can't say, I'm a big shot now, I can do everything. Now the question is, we're still stuck in one thing. What are we supposed to do? What do we choose then? There's only two options. And both of them are not correct. Then which one are we supposed to choose? What's the answer? It depends, really, on who you are. But for most people, they have to choose to think of themselves as a lot of money. Because if not, they just fall into the trap. The only thing they have to watch out for is not to brag, to make themselves look like it. Fine, you don't get a sin for thinking that you're something great. The sin comes when you start becoming a big shot and you're showing off. I do this, I do that. That's the only thing you have to worry about. You think, I learned a lot of Torah, fine. That's fine. But if you're gonna show it off, you're gonna, you're gonna tell other people you're low lives, you're not nothing compared to me, then that's the problem. But the other way around, you have to be, as I said before, you have to be someone who's able to control such stuff, which most of us can't. And this is what it means to be depressed. Bezat Hashem will always realize this. We can't be depressed at ourselves. Of course, if we get depressed for other reasons, for reasons like, I don't know, someone died, okay, there's nothing wrong with that. And that's what I'm trying to say here. Don't think that way. Only if you're being depressed of something that you do wrong, that's not the right way. So Bezat Hashem, also we'll take things for granted. We won't take things for granted. And if we do continue to do so, may we always see a good life, good health, and good money, and good parnasa.